I'm Wendy McCaig. I'm the founder and executive director of Embrace Communities. So within the community health sphere, there's a lot of conversations about resilience. What makes a community resilient in the face of trauma? There's been a lot of research in the acute trauma realm, and they would look at, two communities hit with a hurricane. This one thrives, this one falls. What was the difference? And so these were the 5 indicators, and you can look up the community. This particular research, and this is an international organization. The collective efficacy and social trust, what we found in looking at chronic trauma, and this is both the research on the ABCD Institute's website as well as my own experience doing this work for 20 something years. Those are exactly the same. So collective efficacy being the common belief that you can affect change, that you have the power to affect change. If you believe you can affect change together collectively and you trust each other, you have social trust, those communities can do the most amazing things imaginable. But those 2 ingredients are incredibly important and very difficult to build if they've been destroyed. And for so many reasons, they have been. So we have to work really hard to rebuild. The civic engagement or attachment to place, you see that manifested in how willing people are to be involved in the civic life of their community. So will they join a block club? Will they participate in a parent support group? So that peer-to-peer associate, not coming for services, but willing to invest their time in supporting each other. That mutual aid and care, you see that in this piece of it. Then, in a acute trauma, you're looking at preparedness plans. For those of us working in more chronic settings, you're really talking about that common cause. What do people care enough about that they would be willing to get involved? And we're going to talk a lot about that and how to uncover that. And then developing a shared plan of action. So that it's not just that we care and we want to do something, but we don't know what to do. There's this whole process of laying out what can a community do by themselves, what can they do with support of others, and what can only others do, and then how do we advocate for that? And then the last being this resident leader, this ownership by the community. This is not your organization. This is somebody who lives there and cares deeply about the community in whatever form that community takes. And so you're going to see these same indicators throughout. They may not be named in the early chapters. We'll go much deeper into it in the latter chapters of really gets really deep into part 2. But resilient communities are community powered. Just keep that, if we're trying to build resilience, it's building the capacity of the community to direct and to affect change in their own community with the support that they need to do that. So these, as I mentioned, these 5 indicators of resilience, those become our outcomes measurements for ABCD. We won't get into that today because that's really the deep end of the pool, but we will later. And I love this. I think this, Howard, so y'all will, if you've opened the book, you will discover I am a big Howard Thurman fan. But this is probably my favorite quote from Howard Thurman. Don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive, and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. So in a nutshell, what are we trying to do? We're trying to tap into the energy of the community so that they come alive as they care, that mutual care develops within the community.